Hey guys, it's Brian coming back at you again with another deck profile. This time I've got Time Lords. That's right, Time Lords. Super Rogue, okay? Super Rogue. This deck, again, is like some of my other decks, is just for fun. It's not meant to be taken competitively, it's just for fun. I don't use an extra deck with this deck. It's not needed. I just have a main deck and a side deck, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Alright, so let's get right into it. So to start off the monsters, we have 3 Time Maidens. I actually heard of some dude topping with this not too long ago. Supposedly did pretty good. I don't know, I'd have to actually go and check out his build, however he did it. But this is what I've come up with so far. Again, if you guys have ideas on any of my decks, please leave a comment. I'll check it out. And then, yeah. So anyways, Time Maiden, backbone of the deck. If you control no monster, special summon her from your hand. Sorry, special summon her from your hand. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a Time Lord. You can tribute her, add a Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck to your hand, and you can banish her from the graveyard. Special summon a Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Key wording right here: ignoring its summoning conditions. You cannot special summon other monsters during turn you activate this effect. But a lot of people forget that, ignoring its summoning conditions. I don't know why. Also, big shout out to 2 guys who helped me put this deck together, Joe and Triston. These guys have been playtesting this deck for a while with me, and we're still working on it, but this is a pretty solid build we have so far. So, yeah, Joe and Triston, those guys, they're great guys. Then we have 3 Lasyan. I love Lasyan. Okay, I love this card because if you go and you normal summon a Lasyan and then banish a Time Maiden from the graveyard and go to another Lasyan, your opponent's burning for 2k on their draw phase, which is awesome. And then these guys, all of the Time Lords say the same thing. Cannot be special summoned from the deck. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this card at the end of the battle phase. If this card battled, shuffle all cards from your opponent's graveyard into the deck. This messes up decks that play from the grave. Okay. And you shuffle back your opponent's graveyard back into the deck. And then once per turn, if your opponent draws a card, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Once per turn during standby phase, shuffle this card into the deck. Yeah, all of them have that little shuffle back into the deck thing. This one, he burns when your opponent draws, which is kind of beautiful. That's Lasyan. Oh, they're all level 10, 0 attack, 0 defense type deal. He's fire. Here comes Earth, and that is Camion. Camion is one of my favorites. Okay, because what he does is when he battles, I don't know if it's from a monster. Oh no, just if he battled. So at the end of the battle phase, if he battled, shuffle 1 card your opponent controls into the deck, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. Nobody can. Oh god, that's so cool. But yeah, shuffle back a card, burn your opponent for 500, and then standby phase, he gets shuffled back into the deck like the rest of them. Okay, and that's Camion. 3, Matayan. People will probably remember him from, years ago when Time Lords had first came out, and they were just as shitty back then. Anyhow, Matayan, same thing, can't be special summoned. If you control no monster, you can normal summon. If he battles, at the end of the battle phase, if this card attacked or was attacked, return all other monsters on the field to the hand. He bounces everything. And then inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card returned. It's great. Okay. And standby phase, shuffle back into the deck. Every single one of them. Okay, so a lot of people would argue this with me, but I like it like this. 2, Zaphian. Zaphian, you'll see her in a lot of side decks. Regardless of what the deck is, you'll see her in a lot of side decks. So what she does is when she battles, she shuffles your opponent's back row back into the deck. So if you're playing like Dark Magicians or something, that'll really mess them up, especially if they have a face-up Eternal Soul on the field. It'll just wipe out their board. So yeah, when she battles, she shuffles all spell and trap cards your opponent controls into the deck. And then if she is sent to the graveyard, from the field to the grave, I'm sorry, you draw a card. So, and as I go through the deck, you'll see one of the little combo pieces in here is you summon Sofia, attack, shuffle their back row back. Then you can activate an advanced draw. And advanced draw will send her to the grave and draw 2 cards, and then her effect will pop off to draw another one. So it's a draw 3. It's not bad, you know. It is what it is. Then we have just one, because nobody wants to play more than one of him, but the guy's kind of needed, just a little bit. One of the Wind Dude. He is god-awful. He's terrible. He is... I hate this guy. Anyhow, if your life points are less than 4,000, if he battles, your life points become 4,000. That's all he does. That's literally it. He's pretty useless. Alright, then I run 1 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. You guys remember this dude? Yeah. When he inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target up to 2 monsters in the graveyard, banish those targets, and your opponent cannot banish cards from either player's graveyard. Yes, that stops those decks that like to banish a lot. He's awesome. And then, fan favorite, Thunder King Arroyo. Neither player can add cards from the deck to their hand except by drawing them, so that kind of hurts you just a little bit, but not a lot. You can send this face-up card to the graveyard to negate the special summon of one of your opponent's monsters and destroy it. Yeah, Thunder King Arroyo. MVP. Sort of. So I run 1 Mound of the Bound Creator. If your opponent wants to waste resources on popping this, whatever, it's all good. Basically what this does, we don't use it for the rest of the effect, just the first part, which is level 10 or higher monsters in the field cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So not only can they not be destroyed by battle, this will make it to where they can't be destroyed by card effects. That's awesome. Targeted by card effects, because they can already not be destroyed by battle or card effects. This will make it to where they can't be targeted by card effects, which is, yes, it's good. I only needed 1, though. I don't want to see more than that. 1 is good. 1 is plenty. Run 1 Day of Peace, because really all you're doing in this deck is stalling. And if you, again, all you're doing is stalling. One of the worst plays you can make, though, is normal summon a Lasya and then activating 1 Day of Peace. That just, like, completely ruins it. But yeah, 1 Day of Peace, just a stall. A lot of people argue this one. I don't care. Upstart Goblin, just for that extra draw, because sometimes you had dead hands, and this will all of a sudden magically fix it. But you can only have 1, so yeah. 1 for 1. Time Maiden. Enough said. That's what that's for. Boom. 1 Dark Hole. It's Dark Hole. You can normal summon your TimeLord and activate Dark Hole, and your TimeLord's absolutely fine. Opponent's monsters, not so much. 1 Pot of Acquisitiveness. This card is actually quite good. I had the Burial from a Different Dimension main for a while for the Time Maidens, but this is actually a little bit better because it gives you that draw. So basically when you banish your Time Maidens, once you get like 3 of them set up, or even if you only have 1, your opponent has a bunch of banished monsters, shuffle them back into the deck, then draw a card. It's, you know, it's helpful. Then we got 1 Book of Moon. Everybody who watches my channel by now knows that I love Book of Moon. It's like one of my staple cards in almost every deck. Then, yay, 2 advanced draws. This is for your Zafian, or if, you know, you're like backed up against the wall, you can just send one of the other ones. This is what it does. It attributes a face-up level 8 or higher monster you control and draws 2 cards. So it works. It's better with the Zafian, but if you don't have Zafians out, you're getting stuck with like Matyans or Lasyans or whatever. That works. Again, this is a troll deck, so Ceasefire. It's kind of nice. Plus, I run Quakings in here, so, you know, you can Quaking their field and just sit back and just keep drawing and drawing and drawing. And when you feel ready, you know, Ceasefire. 1 Imperial Order. Because why not? It's Imperial Order. Yeah. I run 1 Imperial Order. Stops the opponent's spells. Again, like if you're playing Dark Magicians or you're playing anything that runs a lot of spells. This. Double, and I know this is kind of repetitive, but Anti-Spell Fragrance. Okay, we already have the Imperial Order, but a lot of people don't realize or remember, Imperial Order happens every standby phase. You pay 700. So with this is a little bit safer, and if you absolutely have to, then you use the Imperial Order. Anti-Spell Fragrance happens first, though. Yeah, so you run 2 of these, stop your opponent's spells, and if it's really getting out of hand with the spells, then you Imperial Order. This is a great card in here. Lose 1 turn. Lose 1 turn. Activate it if you can currently control no special summon monsters, which is, you don't really special summon that often. But while you control no special summon monsters, while a monster is face up on the field, negate its effects. During the turn, that monster was special summoned, and if an effect monster is special summoned in attack position, change it to defense. So it's just a stall. That's really all it is. It's a stall. Then, this one's great. 2 Storming Mirror Forces. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, return all attack position monsters your opponent controls to the hand. Literally it. That's all it is. Super easy, super simple. One of my favorite things to do to players, and the guys who helped me build this deck, one of them, Joe, does not like this card. I love it because, I mean, it's beautiful. Wiretap. People forget about this card, but if you're playing against a meta deck and you're just wanting to play rogue, what are 4 cards that they always run? Strikes and warning. 3 strikes, 3 warning. If your opponent's constantly trying to strike you or warning you and you Wiretap, they will feel so salty because they just burn themselves for absolutely no reason. Wiretap is beautiful. Don't let anybody discourage you from your dreams, Joe. Alright, then, for the last traps in the deck, I run 3 Quaking. Quaking in this deck is beautiful because it will just, flood, mess up your opponent's field, and it'll sit there with, like, face-down monsters, and you can just sit back and twiddle your thumbs and draw and gain the hand advantage. Literally, that's it. That is the main deck. That's it for the main deck. I do not use an extra deck. There's absolutely no need. I do, however, have a side for you guys. Again, with any of my decks, you can always just change it up to however you feel like it. This is just to give an example of what I've got going on. We're going to start this off with 3 Prohibition. By now, you guys know I love this card. It's a great side. Triple Twin Twister. Double Pot of Duality. I could easily main deck this card. I just don't want to right now. It's good how it is. I like the consistency. I would have to drop 2 cards because I don't want to change the consistency. The deck's at 40 cards right now. I don't want to have 42 or anything like that, so it's sided out. 1 Burial from a Different Dimension. I mained it, but Pot of Acquisitiveness is actually a little bit better. So, just for the draw. 1 Mistake. I side it because if you main it, it can kind of mess you up. Like if you run your plays with your Time Maidens, it can kind of mess that up. So I run it at 1 and I have it sided because I don't want to actually main deck that card. It is a great card though. Triple Psalm Strikes. Oh, I told you so. Every deck runs them. Every deck has a strike, unless it's like a really budget player. Every deck has a strike. So, Triple Psalm Strikes. And last but not least, DD Crow. DD Crow. 2 different rarities because, yeah, I don't care. Anyhow, that is the deck. Leave a comment, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.